Are you ready to take your investment game to the next level? Introducing Digital Investor, your ultimate guide to mastering the digital marketplace. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Digital Investor brings you cutting-edge game theoretical strategies, expert insights, and real-time tips and tactics to analyze, evaluate, invest, and grow your wealth. Don't miss out on the digital revolution. Visit www.nickblacknext.com and start your journey with Digital Investor today.
I hope his whole vacation is Montezuma's revenge. I hope he lives on that damn toilet. All right, we got to do it. I think we got through them all. Hello, hello. Well, today, I'll tell you, when I was going through my coffee thing, so the way I pick coffee each morning is like I look at there's just like a big shelf of coffee of these like donut shop coffee thing. You get them on Amazon. It's like a free for all. It's like the Hunger Games of coffee choices. And I kept seeing this one pop up, pumpkin spice. Now, normally the fruity stuff, I get rid of it. Anything fruity doesn't belong in coffee except cherry. That's it. No mint, no orange, no peppermint, none of that bull crap. Anything fruity is out. Anything leaves, grass, it's out. But pumpkin is kind of transcendent because you have pumpkin pie around the holidays, and pumpkin pie is good. So I chose it, and because I had been avoiding it. But you know what? It's as good as XRP is worthless. They are directly proportionate. XRP's worthlessness is proportionate to pumpkin spice's delicious flavor. Direct correlation. They're correlated one. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's see. Are you more of a stand-up or a grappler? It's not really either or. You jab and cross and leg kick people until they take you down, and then you just fight on the ground. But the first thing I did was boxing, and then that's not really true, is it? When I was in school, I was doing wrestling, so technically wrestling would be first, then boxing and Thai boxing second, then jiu-jitsu third, and then just mixing it all up. But yeah, you have to spend about 10,000 hours on the ground to really get it, which does sound like a lot. To where it's a habit. Let's see. Try hazelnut. I know. No, Andy. Don't get me wrong. I've already ripped through all the hazelnut ones. I hunt those out. And the creamer that I use is either vanilla or hazelnut. Yeah, trust me. Way ahead of you on the hazelnut. But I concur. Let's see. Sounds like Black Forest. Oh, the Black Forest cherry one. Maybe you're talking about. It is a good one. Especially, I know, God. Those 5 or 6 days after Thanksgiving and then after Christmas, which is all like the same crap. And then if you can stretch and make the argument for New Year's to have also pumpkin pie, you can stretch your pumpkin pie eating out almost 3 months. It's badass. Yes, yes. Pumpkin spice candles do smell good, except that they can be too intense. Like Charles is whining, too intense. Any word on the jute boat? I thought that would already go. I think it's maybe this evening they would do the next one. I got like a Wednesday evening feel or something like that, but I haven't really checked. Okay, so markets are up. We'll cover why they're green. Well, we'll cover some of the reasons why they're green. You know, still the macro picture in the United States is bad, really bad, really bad, not good. Some kind of disturbing information from many of the Fed branches. You know, these guys, I don't know, it's very weird. When you look at the Federal Reserve and you wonder how they make decisions based on old information that usually gets either redacted or changed, and they always know it's going to be changed. It's not like they're not that stupid. They might be old, they might be aged out of using a cell phone because you have to touch buttons on a screen and they can't imagine you could just touch a screen and there's not physical buttons. But they're not so obtuse that they don't understand that all of the data they use is old and it always changes. They're not dumb. So I think they do try to factor that in a little bit. And when they get information from their districts and it's bad, they know that bad news is coming. Now, on the other side, they're a bit prideful and they want to look like they really know what's going on. But you're starting to see Fed governors reverse course and say, oh, no, I think maybe we read into this wrong the way we read into this wrong last year. I mean, wrong, dead nuts wrong. So if the macro is not good, part of this whole idea is you'll see it floating around of, okay, what's going on with tariffs? What's the deal? How come tariffs would make the Fed cut? Don't tariffs look like inflation? No. Because what happens is if, and I think it's a negotiating tactic, but if tariffs go into effect, then what happens? Well, then all these companies have to pass those price hikes. They just pass along the difference to the customers, which is us. What do? We quit buying their stuff. And when we quit buying their stuff, it slows economic activity. The gears slow down. What's that look a lot like? Same basic outcome as a deflationary environment or a stagflationary environment. Without the inflation. This is stagflation without the inflation. Stagnant economy, no actual inflation. Price hikes due to non-currency creation effects, price hikes because of tariffs. That is a political thing. That's a non-monetary, that's a political issue. So tariffs slow purchasing, they slow behavior in the economy, normal behavior, normal kind of aggregate purchasing behavior in the economy. If they slow that in the economy slows down, then even the dumbasses at the Fed look and go, God, shit, we must help. We must ease. And they think that easing means cutting rates. We all know that's stupid. We know that rate cuts do nothing. They've never done anything. You go back, look at all the data you want going all the way back. Rate cuts have never had a consistent correlation up or down. That's the problem. They're so ineffectual that it's worse. It's like technical analysis. It's worse than 50%. Rate cuts are worse than 50%. You have no idea what's going to happen, which is nothing. Why? Because the economy is going to be the economy and people are going to move. Buyer behavior is going to shift. Bond buyer behavior is going to shift. hedging behavior in the yield curve is going to shift based on what people see at that moment, not 6-month-old bullshit data with a bunch of old people whose glasses are so fucking thick that they can see the future. They can look up in space. Anyway, point is, so that's where you could see people getting the tariff argument wrong. The teasing out the tea leaves of tariffs wrong. So there. So I think, I also think most of this tariff stuff is negotiating fuel, and I don't think much comes from it. Well, no, I don't mean tariffs. I think there will be some tariffs, but I do think it'll be more negotiating and less tariffy. It'll be less tariffying. What? Anyway, so you could see tariff talk. Panic, scary, Fed, rate cut. Fed's got to cut rates anyway. They can say whatever they want. It's all jawboning bullshit. They have to cut. They can't. Over the next 2 years, there's so much debt that has so much government debt that has to be rolled over. They can't roll it over at 4+%. Man, anything above about 3.5, the debt service is untenable. They're already getting effed. This thing has to cut, and I bet it's a bunch. Oh, higher for longer. We might even raise. Bullshit. These dudes at the Fed, man, and I guess they have quarterback amnesia. Some of them are starting to remember this time last year, but most of them, I don't know. You just want to slap the shit out of them, wake them up, and it's like, guys, just quit being so stupid. But that's all they have. They have to be seen to be doing something. The Federal Reserve has to be seen to be doing something, or they have to be seen to tactically be doing nothing, and the nothing is the something. But they have to be doing something. The thought is on the street is that we're going to have a negative GDP quarter. This is going to be a bad quarter. Probably, maybe. And then what does the Fed do? Panic like a bunch of little bitches like they did, remember, last June, July, going in, the pause, the panic into September, the 50 basis points, the 25 to 25. Same shit, different year. So my guess is, I don't know, probably 75 basis points, maybe a full point this year. Depending on, you get some bank failure, you get some like any kind of systemic panic. Has anybody watched 0 Day with Robert De Niro? It's on Netflix. It's like a limited series. I think there's 4 or 5 episodes about this attack that basically turns off the power. It's a cyber attack. And it turns the power off for like 1 minute, and all these people crash their cars and trains and all this kind of shit and whatever. So a lot of people die, and then they bring in ex-president. I think his name is Robert Mitchell in the show or something like that. Anyway, whatever. They start bringing him in. He's like, I'm going to investigate this and da-da-da. It's pretty cool, but it's along the lines of they're starting to weaponize these economic like firepower and all this kind of stuff. It's got a lot of dirty dealing with government officials and congressmen and things like that. Anyway, pretty cool stuff. Howard, buddy, if there's people that haven't watched it, why would you do that? Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid coming out of your slumber, Howard. So, pretty interesting stuff. Tariff tantrums. That's a good one. Tariff tantrums. Beekeeper 2. Oh, hell yeah. All right. So let's get to the word on the street as to why these markets are so damn green. Everybody here should know or be aware of the cryptocurrency summit at the White House, March 7th. That's Friday. I know Slow Horses is good. Slow Horses is probably, I don't know if there's much better than that. As far as like just good TV, like good like there's not much better than that. Okay. I mean, obviously Reacher. Okay. So why is crypto going up today? So things are starting to, I think, rally a little bit ahead of this summit. Now, will Chuck be hosting? I don't even think Chuck's sorry ass, even though somehow his token got mentioned, I don't even think he will be invited. I really don't. I know that sounds bad. I don't even think they would invite him. But prices are kind of melting up as the thought is that investors are anticipating policy announcements and things like that. Tom, I'm not a big fan of Ondo. I don't know why. It seems a little spammy to me. I see it more and more, and I keep circling back to it, and I keep going, it's just not super interesting. I don't know. Maybe I'll get a wild hair or something. Anyway, so people are anticipating a few things. Here's what I think. You can be reasonably sure that there will be an announcement about a Bitcoin reserve. So I don't think they're going to tighten up anything about the other tokens. Matter of fact, I think it's going to be a sell the news, because I think they're going to basically be snubbed. They'll pay some lip address to it, but it won't be anything specific. And even if they do a Bitcoin reserve that has these American tokens in it, which is so stupid, these useless XRP, which lies about their TPS. Solana has use, but lies about everything, including their transaction. They lie about their TPS by a factor of 200x. They lie about their market cap, and they steal shit, and they're pumped by a bunch of creeps. So Solana, and it breaks all the time. And then there's Cardano, used by no one, that can do one transaction per second. Why this bizarre? You have to make a tough argument these days to see why you should have those in your portfolio, other than price number go up, right? Forget number go up, but actual use, utility, and wide scale adoption. The only one with any real adoption is Solana. And it's adopted for the worst reasons by the worst people. And it was promoted and pushed by the worst people for the worst reasons. But it did reach that point where a lot of people use Solana. So on that one, like Greenfield was saying yesterday, you can at least make the argument. True. You can make the argument. Of course, they're still being investigated for securities fraud and all that kind of crap, but you know. So I think the way we should expect this summit to go down is there's not going to be much in the way of talking about the specifics, because those three tokens, I doubt they ever show up in any Bitcoin, in any strategic reserve. I think it's just he's paying lip address to people that may or may not have supported him during this election process last year. That's what I think. I don't think Cardano's ever going in any kind of U.S. reserve, and I don't think XRP is either. I just don't. But I think people that think that they're going to hear some information about that at this summit are going to be disappointed, and I think it's going to be a sell the news, or even sell the not news. It could be a sell the snub. So Trump is hosting the White House Crypto Summit on March 7th, 2025. That's this Friday. It's going to be a bunch of industry, leaders, promoters, and policymakers. This is about policy. I think there will be an announcement about a Bitcoin strategic reserve, but I think that's about it. He's not going to get out there and pump these garbage coins. It just isn't. I don't know when that starts, Steve. I don't know what time that meeting is. But anyway, cryptocurrency market rebounded quite dramatically, with the total market cap reaching $3 trillion. I don't know if it's still at, but that's that kind of bear bull line in the sand that we were talking about. Bitcoin traded as high as 91,400 last night for a bit, or early this morning. It's retraced quite a bit. Ethereum retraced quite a bit. Cardano retraced a bit. Trump proposed creating a U.S. crypto reserve, which includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Crap RP, and Cardano. And so, yeah. Anyway, spot Bitcoin ETF inflows reached 94 million daily, with cumulative total inflows at 36.94 billion. Because that means it was 60 leaving, 60 going out the door. The cryptocurrency market has seen a pretty good rebound in the last few days. I think it's just excitement over the crypto summit. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, Sunday was awesome, and then everybody got their ass kicked. And it's like, I don't know how. You guys know the math, right? If something goes up 20%, and then you're like, yeah, and then it goes down 20%. You're like, shit. And then it goes up 20% again. You're not where you were. You're not where you were. Does that make sense? So let's say you're at $10 and you go up 20%. You're at 12. You go down 20%. You're lower than where you started. It's more than 2. Right? And so if you go up again, you're not back where you were. So you've lost. Even if it was 20, ain't. And so I think sometimes you really want to look at your assets and see what's going on with them, especially in times of turbulence. And that will teach you where you need to put your consideration and where maybe you don't. There's some stuff you can leave alone. Like I look at Bitcoin as I can just leave Bitcoin alone, whatever. I used to think Ethereum was the same way. I'm not so sure now. I do have an update, the Ethereum Petra update. We're going to talk about that in a second. And maybe that breathes some life in. But if Vitalik doesn't have the cojones to start charging these layer 2s for basically pilfering his network, I don't know. That's the cats knocking shit over again. All right, anyway. I guess it's already knocked over. What's the difference? So, Trump will host the summit. A bunch of industry kiss asses will show up. Now, I think it's going to be funny that Brad Garlinghouse is going to be there, and all of the people that fucking hate Brad Garlinghouse are going to be there. All the Bitcoin maxis, they're bringing their firepower. Even Micro Sailor got invited. Micro, I'm in tax trouble. We can't pay our taxes. We're going to lose every single quarter for the rest of humanity. We run a Ponzi scheme. I have laser eyes. Oh, yeah. And I was indicted for dodging $100 million worth of taxes, claiming a fake residency. Sailor, even that Michael Saylor is going to be there in the White House. How do you think they're going to get along? What do you think happens when Brad stands up like, hey, XRP? Dude, Michael Saylor, one thing about that guy, I feel like there's a good stiff-handed slap that he could offer Brad Garlinghouse. I bet he would slap the raw piss out of Garlinghouse. Just slap the shit out of him right there in the Oval Office. Shut up. Oh, God, to be a fly on that wall. I think they are going to – I think that I think it could get really heated. I wonder how much we're going to be exposed to those meetings and everything that goes on. We'll see. It could just be a little thing where Trump comes out, says, hey, what's going on, la-da-da, and then, a Bitcoin National Reserve. But I think it's mostly about regulation and about easing regulation, which, by the way, for all of us, is way more important. Regulation is what we want. We want clear, consistent guidelines and regulation that people can build into and around. That's what we want. Really, it doesn't matter what stupid coins are in some national reserve. That's not going to move the needle. It would psychologically move the needle, but at a certain point, everybody's going to still ask, what does XRP do? Nothing. What does Solana do? Feeds a bunch of meme coin creep, degenerate gambling fucks. What does ADA do? Nothing. Does it do it fast? Nope. So what if they buy some and add some to a bank wallet? to a central bank wallet, to a U.S. government wallet. I don't think anyone gives a shit. Those things still don't do anything. At some point, that's going to come up. Somebody over there, when Brad steps up to like glad hand everyone, they're going to go, fuck you, Brad. Get out of my fucking face. There's a lot of people that don't like those scumbags. At least with Charles, you kind of feel sorry for him. You don't not like him. Well, with Charles, you might not like him, but you don't hate him. It's like he hasn't done anything mean. He hasn't cheated or stolen. He's just kind of douchey. So with Charles, you forgive his stupidity. You forgive it. You forgive his emotional weakness. But with those other guys, they're conniving fucking thieves. Creeps. All of them. Brad Garlinghouse. Thief. Fucking crook. Chris. Grand larceny. Thief. Crook. Everybody at Chainlink is full of shit. Those guys got invited. Chainlink, Sergey, that fucking snake, that guy got invited. God, why don't they invite BitBoy? Where's BitBoy when we need him? Or all these other? Are they gonna have Sam Bankman-Fried have a video feed? Hey guys, I'm playing. What was he playing? League of Legends? Was it League of Legends or something else? Anyway, whatever. I'm like, so yeah. Anyway, total crypto market cap jumped to 3 trillion ish, which is about almost a 6% increase in one day, which is pretty good. Even though we saw like a 14% decrease in one day, so not as good. Trading volumes have seen a pretty massive surge, reaching 200 and change billion. So that's good. We'll see if any of this stuff holds. Cardano seems to be the most consistently up token in this batch. Oh, they're doing something very loud. They're doing something really loud. Give me 30 seconds to go make sure that something's not on fire. I thought I clicked it. So to summarize, the cat was dragging a microphone. Microphone. The cat was dragging a vacuum, which sounds as weird as it sounds. But anyway, yeah, he was dragging one of those the really good the Dysons, one of the small Dysons. He was dragging it across the floor. I don't know why. So, yeah. Anyway, okay, so to summarize, we have the summit coming here. We're going to go behind the wall here in just a second. When we go behind the wall, I have some ideas about how I think we should probably play that. I think it's going to be good for Bitcoin people. I don't think it's going to be great for all of these other asset people. So the Solana people, the XRP people, the ADA people, I think they're going to be unhappy with what with what random ass stupid result they think they might possibly get. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk real quick about the Petra update. So Ethereum's Petra update enters its final testing phase with the Sepolia activation. So Ethereum, we talked about this Petra update a while back, but it's now coming to fruition. So Petra has been activated on the Sepolia testnet, making the final test phase before its anticipated mainnet launch in April. Ethereum's ecosystem is advancing in multiple fronts, with key developments in both its staking infrastructure and network upgrades. The blockchain's upcoming Petra upgrade has moved closer to mainnet activation following a successful Sepolia testnet deployment. It marks the final testing phase before its anticipated launch in April. It's not very long. It's not very far. It's like, March, April. So anyway, at this time, Clusterform, which is a subsidiary of SSV Labs, has proposed a permissionless staking model for Lido, which leverages distributed validator technology, DVT, to expand node operator participation and enhance decentralization. Woohoo! Go Ethereum. Go enhanced. We're using enhanced techniques, enhanced Ethereum techniques. They used on that show, they did enhanced. Yeah, anyway, whatever. So they reached what they say is a crucial milestone with their activation on the Sepolia testnet today at about 2:30 a.m. Eastern. This marks the final major test phase before the upgrades deployed on the Ethereum mainnet, tentatively scheduled for the first couple of weeks of April. So this is what they believe is a very significant step towards scalability and efficiency following the Dencun hard fork, which was March of last year. And that successfully reduced layer 2 transaction fees. Fees have been less. But anyway, whatever. Petra introduces a range of enhancements aimed at improving network performance, security, and just the overall user experience in and around Ethereum. Okay? Y'all got that? So, Sepolia, one of Ethereum's key test networks, serves as a testing ground for upgrades before they're deployed on the mainnet. So developers simulate real-world network conditions and DDoS attacks and all this kind of other stuff to test how the upgrade will function under various kind of stress. They're stress testing. The rollout follows an earlier activation on the Holesky testnet, which was on February 24th, so a week and change ago. However, the Holesky activation encountered issues when incorrect deposit contract addresses in the execution clients led to chain splits and delayed finality. You don't want that. So this caused a bunch of weird deviations and disruptions, all this kind of stuff. Ethereum's core developers quickly addressed the issue, stabilized the network. They think they fixed it. They retested. And these kinds of things happen. Like the first version of any piece of code is probably crap, and you just need to just hammer it. So the Sepolia activation proceeded as scheduled today. So far, so good. And here are the key features. So the key features of the Petra upgrade are abstract account. It's EIP 7. There's 3 EIP. When you hear EIP, that is Ethereum Improvement Proposal. There's 7702, there's EIP 7251, and EIP 7691. We'll go through these quick, and then we'll go behind the wall. So EIP 7702. This is the account abstraction enhancements. This proposal significantly improves crypto wallet usability and the user experience by making account abstraction more efficient. It allows externally owned accounts, EOAs, to temporarily function as smart contract wallets, enabling more flexibility and programmable interactions. Okay, so that's 7702. 7251 is increasing the validator stake limits. And we had talked about this before, but basically the maximum validator stake right now is 32 Ethereum, 32 Ethereum per validator, right? They're going to increase that to 2,048 Ethereum. and that reduces the number of validators that are needed to secure the network. Meaning, this change is expected to optimize staking operations, to reduce fees, but to maintain Ethereum's decentralization sufficiently. Then there's EIP 7691. That is enhancing rollup scalability. And so the maximum blob count is being increased to advance Ethereum's rollup scalability. This change is designed to improve layer 2 performance, further reducing transaction costs and increasing throughput. So you say, okay, but bro, I don't give a shit. Okay, fair. Why Pectra matters for Ethereum's future? Well, Ethereum has been aggressively evolving to maintain its dominance as the leading smart contract platform, but they've had some competition. I would say mainly from Solana, right? And their own layer 2s. And so when you have competitors like Solana, and I wouldn't call Avalanche a real competitor, BNB to an extent, but those chains, they're innovating rapidly. And so Ethereum has to continue optimizing its network to remain competitive and keep the clients it's got. So the Dencun upgrade, which was in 2024, focused on lowering layer 2 fees and making Ethereum more accessible to everyday users. Pectra builds on that by improving validator operations, enhancing scalability through rollups, and just reducing the overall kind of infrastructure burden of the current validator system. So, yeah, I mean, this Pectra could set the stage for, transformative upgrades in the coming years and all this kind of stuff. But Ethereum has to cement its role as the backbone of the decentralized economy, which it still is, but it needs to get it right. Vitalik's been asleep at the wheel for a long time. I mean, a long time. He's waking up. That's great. Did he wake up too late? I don't know. If someone held a gun to your head and said, you have to send a transaction, and if this transaction fails, you die. So, are you going to use Ethereum or Solana? What would you do? Ethereum or Solana? Gun to your head. If the transaction fails, you die. I mean, That's right. That's right. Yep. I think we are of the same mind. Okay. Let's go behind the wall and let's talk about what our game plan is going into this summit. And when we make the decisions we're going to make based on the summit, and if we should. So all that and more on the other side of these commercial announcements. It's not really commercial, but I guess it's kind of a commercial.
Going behind the proverbial wall now to continue the broadcast privately for the digital investors and digital private clients. If you'd like to join us, simply go to nickblacknext.com and subscribe to one of our plans and immediately take advantage of our library of tools, tactics, and information. It's all designed to help you learn, grow, and manage your portfolio like a pro. Join us now